很多国家因为都是社会主义的政党曾经执政过，当然他们一旦推出来的政策就不会改变，所以他们的居住正义其实做得比亚洲国家好太多。在那个地方根本不太有人可能是靠他房地产商而变成一夜致富或是最有钱的人，不太可能。他们认为用房地产赚取暴利基本上是一个投机的事业。而英国本身呢，工党曾经执政过，它的公租屋跟相关的政策其实在全世界算是领先的，虽然不如德国，但是是领先的。比如说他如果有国有财产地释出的时刻，他要求建商你取得这块土地，那不好意思，你在旁边你给我盖豪宅，你在旁边给我盖另外一栋房子，这是给一般人民可以买得起的，坪数少的，可是整个建筑品质是一样的房子。这是英国对于公平的概念，而且不允许你整个区都是富人区，另外一区叫做贫民区。但即使是这样的英国，在2008年金融海啸以后也改变了。金融海啸改变之后，最大的特征是什么？现金不值钱了。于是呢，美国一直印钞票，一直印钞票，大家就知道说钱要进房地产，所以各个国家的房地产都暴增它的价值，不是只有台湾，是全世界都出现了居住正义的问题。连本来都还算相当考虑居住正义的英国，现在他们也都租不起房子，也形成了英国的居住正义问题。所以这是一个全球齐声的怒吼。
英国已经是除了德国以外，对于提供公租屋，对于任何国有土地资源最符合居住正义的国家。但现在连英式的居住正义也应付不了脱欧经济衰退后的局面。
On the latest shocking rise in homelessness, even among those in active employment. New figures out today show 1 in 4 of the households in England becoming homeless last year had at least one person in work. It is something that affected or at least threatened almost 73,000 households where someone had a full or part-time job. By the end of 2022, homelessness among full-time workers had increased by 22%.
The Renters United! Never be defeated!
UK is in a housing crisis. House prices have been rising faster than wages for at least the past few decades, and houses are now essentially unaffordable for anyone under the age of 40 without family support, which is why a record number of young people now live with their parents.
即使他们认真地过每一分钟，但他们的未来却没有梦。政府常年未解的住房危机，不但让英国年轻人买不起房，现在就连租房都是奢望。
Nicole works full-time as a personal assistant in West London. 4 weeks ago, her landlord took back the property she was renting, but she assumed she'd find somewhere else.
Got my belongings. Who knows where the destination is for this evening?
But private rents have rocketed, competition for homes is fierce, and the local councils say they've no properties for her.
Tuesday evening, just got back from work. Managed to rebook in the same. I'm off to work, yeah. The fact that I'm working and I'm earning a living, that's just crazy to me. That, you know, I've got the funds there to look after myself and maintain myself in the property. It means nothing. I just want to live like a normal person, like a normal adult, go about my normal adult life.
随着英国央行进一步加息，英国生活成本危机也对房产租赁和抵押贷款带来明显的影响。根据英国国家统计局公布的数据显示，截至2023年5月，英国租金在过去1年上涨了5%，为2016年以来的最高水平。其中，作为房价和租金高地的伦敦，租金上涨最为剧烈，年涨幅5.1%，也创下近7年新高。
The government so often says that the best route out of homelessness, out of poverty, is getting a job, working. What then would they say to Nicole? She is proof that increasingly that is not enough, that the chronic shortage of affordable homes means that working full-time on a modest income, you can still find yourself with nowhere to live.
Lisa and her family are having to live in this modified caravan. They moved here temporarily when their private rented flat became too expensive. They went to the council, who said there's a 4-year wait on 3-bedroom properties, but they just can't secure anywhere affordable, despite Lisa working part-time and her husband Lee working full-time.
They've got no central heating here. It's been cold in the winter, no wash facilities. So I've really struggled. We've always worked. Both of us have always worked since we left school. So, you know, we're not sitting at home waiting for it to come to us. We're going out and working for it, and we're still struggling.
今年年初，英国一家慈善机构发布的研究报告就指出，过去10年居住在临时住所的人数增加了70%，而现在在英国有近30万人无家可归，其中包括了12万3千名儿童。寸土寸金的伦敦，这个现象更为严重，几乎是每58人就有1人无家可归。
The cost of renting in the UK is at a record high, putting even more pressure on people who are already feeling the strain from the rising cost of living. So how did we get here? In January 2019, there were over 360,000 properties available to rent. Now it's around 215,000. So what's that done to prices? At the start of 2019, the average rental would set you back £850. Now it's $1,150.
但即使房租每晚一涨，在市场上依然供不应求。造成这个局面的最大原因在于英国的房源严重短缺。
In fact, house building has been falling since the 1970s, despite the fact that, at the same time, the UK's population growth has been increasing. A 2017 government white paper puts it simply: the UK needs 225,000 to 275,000 new houses annually, but since the 1970s has only averaged 160,000. A good point of comparison is France, which has experienced similar population growth to the UK since 1970, but built nearly twice as many new houses. In 1970, France had a population of 52 million to the UK's 55 million. By 2019, both countries were at about 67 million, but France had built 16.7 million new homes, increasing its total housing stock by 91%, while the UK had built just 8.9 million new homes, an increase of 46%.
事实上，英国每届大选，候选人几乎都会高喊新建社会住宅。2019年，保守党就承诺要在英国打造1年30万套住宅，让更多人拥有自己的房子。由于英国脱欧导致劳动力短缺，加上俄乌战争爆发后通货膨胀居高不下，英国的建筑商正面临前所未有的压力。
Why hasn't the UK built more houses? Well, there are a variety of reasons. The Greenbelt, for example, is supposed to prevent urban sprawl, but it just means that cities can't expand with their population. The UK's case-by-case planning system, which requires developers to submit individual applications for every potential development, also doesn't help. Most other countries use zonal planning systems, which means developers know in advance whether they can build on their land. The UK system, on the other hand, slows down house building and introduces a load of uncertainty, which discourages investment.
错综复杂的原因导致英国年轻一代不敢梦想攀上买房的阶梯。去年10月上任的首相苏纳克更碍于同党选区压力，已经取消了新建住房的强制性目标。居住正义在政客面前只是一句苍白的口号。
30 years ago, it was kind of unthinkable that someone working full-time would be unable to afford their own home. We are now talking about people working full-time who can't even rent a home. That is the extent of this crisis, and it is a crisis.
How much longer do you think you can do this for, mentally and financially?
A couple of months either way. Something's got to give.
In work, but soon out in the cold, the victim of a crisis not of her making.